The Empowerment for Unemployed Youth initiative has accused the Senate leadership of stalling the confirmation of Engineer Abdullahi Garba as chairman of the Nigerian Electricity Regulatory Commission, a move it says undermines President Bola Tinubu's power sector reform agenda. Co-convener, Comrade Igwe Udeomanta, told journalists in Abuja that although the Senate Committee on Power completed vetting and recommended Ramat's confirmation since October 22, the full Senate has yet to act. He alleged that Senate President Godswill Akpabio and Deputy President Barau Jibrin were deliberately delaying the process for political reasons. The group praised Ramat's professional credentials, calling him fit to lead NERC, and warned it would mobilize unemployed youths for protest if the confirmation is not concluded within 48 hours.
Silence in the face of injustice amounts to complicity, and that is why we are not keeping silent again. It is on this note that we have chosen to take a stand and speak courageously to power in order to put an end to the injustice that has trailed the unnecessary, inexplicable, and inexcusable delay in confirming the nomination of Engineer Abdullahi Garba as chairman of NERC by the Nigerian Senate. Let us put it on record that on the 22nd of October 2025, Senator Engineer Abaribe Harcourt, Abia South and Chairman, Senate Committee on Power, and his committee, after a thorough vetting exercise, presented the trial of Engineer Abdullahi Garba, Mr. Abubakar Yusuf, and Faud Olayinka Animation as Chairman, Commissioner Consumer Affairs, and Commissioner Finance and Administration, respectively, of NERC. However, instead of performing their statutory responsibility of screening and confirming the appointments and nominations from Mr. President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, the Senate decided to constitute a public obstacle to the reform agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, especially in the power sector. Apart from willfully sabotaging the power reforms as enshrined in the Renewed Hope agenda, the actions of the Senate under Senator Godswill Akpabio speaks eloquently about the integrity of our democratic institutions and their motives in the grand natural scheme. One would expect that the only job of the Senate is to screen whoever the president appoints. And when there are reasons for that screening not to scale through, as we have seen, the empirical fact will be presented and the president will be advised. This time around, there has been a nomination, there has been a screening, and then somebody is simply sitting on it. We are not moving, even when the country is supposed to be running fast. And this is just dirty politics. In this suspicious and questionable debacle, indicates that some parliamentarians in the Senate seeking regional political influence appear increasingly determined to act as obstacles to the reform agenda of President Bola Ahmed Tinubu, seeking instead to impose their personal interests on this critical national appointment. Therefore, rather than supporting the administration in its effort to build strong institutions and deliver progress, they resort to pressure tactics, intimidation, and blackmail of appointees and nominees of Mr. President. This conduct undermines governance, erodes public trust, and sabotages our national development. Up till now, the Senate has not told us the reason why, like the Princess of Persia, this appointment has been held in the air. The delay in the confirmation of Engineer Abdullahi Garba, a seasoned and experienced professional, is reportedly due to the actions of the Senate President, Senator Godswill Akpabio, and his deputy, Senator Barau Jibrin. Unfortunately, these two men are top leaders who in public claim to support the president, but in private work against his decisions because of their personal political schemes. Sadly enough, no concrete reasons have been advanced to justify the prolonged delay in confirming this appointee. It is deeply troubling that, according to credible accounts, this delay is not because Engineer Ramat does not merit the job, nor is it that the national interest is not served, but it is rather rooted in Senator Barau's alleged political machinations and selfish interests. This is political terrorism and must not be condoned by Nigerians. Let us be clear. No individual, however politically positioned, should hold the nation hostage or subvert meritocracy for their personal ambition. The future of our power sector is far too important for petty political gimmicks. The power needs of Nigerians are too urgent, in fact, an emergency. And Mr. President's reform momentum is also too critical to allow this form of internal sabotage and continue unchecked. Our position is simple and straightforward. The Senate President, and indeed the leadership of the Senate, address Nigerians and state categorically why an eminently qualified Nigerian is being treated in the manner Engineer Ramat has been treated, despite the express appointment and nomination by Mr. President. Are they questioning the wisdom of the president in this appointment? Is there anything in the CV of Abdullahi Ramat or in his antecedents that Nigerians need to know? That is the important question. Because this man is from Kano and only them know what is the local politics there, but Nigerians need that position to be filled and we need to get the country working. In fact, of all sectors, the power sector should be spared the unnecessary politics of selfish interest due to its strategic importance as driver of industrialization and economic growth. Enough is enough. If Engineer Abdullahi Ramat's confirmation is delayed for another 48 hours, we shall have no option than to mobilize all unemployed and frustrated Nigerian youths whose future is being compromised by the personal political ambitions of a few bad eggs for a massive protest at the National Assembly and all offices of NEC until the will and wishes of Mr. President, which is in the interest of Nigerians, and indeed the Nigerian people, are achieved and the critical power sector salvaged. Nigerians are tired of playing politics with everything. So since the leadership of the Senate of the Federal Republic of Nigeria is on this base and shameful path, we will help to embarrass and expose their chicanery.